All right, old school NBA fans, self-research, NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. In this video here, I got another one for Nick Wright. The dude just constantly hiding things, manipulating things, omitting things all the time. It's all this guy does. And I got another snippet from basically the same video that I've been playing. This time, it's about the 1995 Eastern Conference semifinals. I'll play this video so you understand what we're dealing with, what he said, the claims he's making. Here you go.
Fact. The next year, when he came back, when we got bounced in the playoffs, what happened the one time during our run where an Eastern Conference team beat us? Well, Scottie Pippen, played pretty damn well. 26, 12, and 6 on better than 50% shooting. Michael, meanwhile, was 40% on 24 points and got ripped to lose the game. That was his 6th turnover.
As you can see, he's painting the picture because he is presenting it as he is Scottie Pippen's spokesperson, right? So he's basically saying it was Jordan's fault why they lost. Pippen played great. That's what he said. Blamed it all on that final game where he said Pippen had 26, 12, and 6. Shot over 50%. That was in game 6. Yeah, that's true. Jordan didn't shoot 40%. It was actually 41.7, but we won't squabble about the details here. It's Nick Wright we're talking about. He always embellishes. Well, in that series, Michael Jordan, Eastern Conference semifinals. Game 1, Jordan definitely had some bad plays at the end that you could say directly cost them the game. No doubt about it. But in game 1, Scottie Pippen's numbers. He was 2 for 11 with 7 points. But that didn't get mentioned, did it? No, he didn't discuss that. Michael Jordan in game 1 definitely didn't have a great game. It was his worst game of the series. He was 8 for 22, 19 points. He had 8 turnovers, and Pippen only had 3 turnovers. That's fine. In this game, Scottie Pippen scored 7 points. Now, he may not have been the person that cost them the game at the very end, but he didn't do a lot to help them win that game either. Anybody who hasn't seen this clip, here is the context I'm talking about.
Jackson to make that call during the free throw. And a costly pass thrown by Dennis Scott in a crowd that was picked off by the Bulls. And Jordan spinning his way against Anderson. Here comes Hardaway. Kukoc will throw in. Jordan played by Royal. Jordan to Pippen. And a lovely Orlando ball. Michael had the shot, but decided to pass off.
So yeah, Jordan definitely got the ball stole from him and then made the bad pass. That's on Jordan. I'm going to talk later in the video of why I think this happened, along with what happened at the end of Game 6. Games 2 through 6, though, the next 5 games, Scottie Pippen shot 34 for 77, 44.15%. He had 6 steals and 5 blocks, 14 turnovers. At the line, he was 31 for 46 for 67.3%. That was Pippen's numbers 2 through 6. Michael Jordan's numbers were 2 through 6, 64 for 129 for 49.6% from the field. He had 14 steals, 11 blocks, which both led the team, 16 turnovers, which was definitely high, but it's only 2 more than Pippen's 14 at that point from games 2 through 6. At the free throw line, Jordan was 36 for 44, 81.8%. Now, to me, that's not really that bad. Let me just play you the clip at the end of Game 6 and the little piece of information that Nick Wright did not show you, not the very last critical Bulls possession to tie the game, but how about the one before it? They were down by 1. Check this out.
Grant Hardaway is back in. Jordan, pull-up jumper inside to Longley. He missed the lay-in from Jordan. Can you believe it? I thought he had a dunk. 7'2" Luke Longley missed the lay-in. I think somebody got a piece of that shot, Bob. It looked like he had a dunk. Phil Jackson has met him at mid-court and is following him back to the game, to the bench. Whatever the case, the 7'2" player should score this. Watch this now. Looks like he's got a dunk, and he just leaves it short. He shot an air ball. You don't want to give up a three-point shot or a three-point play going to the basket. Going to the basket is Jordan. About 3 moves inside Longley. Turnover.
You're going to put that on Jordan? Jordan had Nick Anderson, I think it was Shaq, in midair. He dumped the ball to Longley, who had a wide open dunk. You heard what Doug Collins said. You heard the announcers. They said Luke Longley should have dunked it. He airballed a layup. So how would that be on Jordan? Yeah, the next play, when it was 104-102, Jordan came down. He got himself trapped. He tried to shove the pass into Longley in the paint, and Nick Anderson stole the ball. That was not a rip. That's another little piece of information that was incorrect. Jordan made a bad pass, no doubt about it. And you could say that maybe it did cost him the game at that point. But the play before, Luke Longley missed a wide open layup. You saw. So I don't know that I would necessarily put that all on Jordan. Of course, Nick Wright will, and he loves to omit everything. In 1995, Jordan came back, obviously, 3/4 of the way into the season. Scottie Pippen in 1995 was 7th for MVP. He was 2nd for Defensive Player of the Year. He led the league with 2.9 steals per game. Led the league. He was the best thief of the ball in the NBA in that season. But in that series, he got 6 steals and 8 blocks. For the 1995 playoffs as a total, Michael Jordan scored 120 field goals in 10 games. He averaged 12 per game. Scottie Pippen had 58, less than half of what Jordan had. Tony Kukoc had 53. He's only 5 behind him. Michael Jordan, in the 10 games, had 23 steals, 2.3 per game. Pippen, Mr. League Leader steals title, had 14. That's half of what he did in the regular season. Blocks, Michael Jordan had 14. Pippen had 10. Pippen is the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year, and Jordan definitely outdid him on defense. Turnovers was definitely Michael Jordan's undoing in this series. He had 41 turnovers. Pippen had 27, no doubt. The free throw line, Michael Jordan was 64 for 79, 81%. Scottie Pippen was 48 for 71 for 67.6%. Okay, that's not such a big deal. Scottie Pippen is not a good free throw shooter, no doubt about it. But Michael Jordan just came off the baseball field after a 1.5-year hiatus, and he out-steals and out-blocks the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year. The one thing that was off for Michael Jordan in that series was the turnovers. When he has not been playing regularly, he turns the ball over. And I'm sure a lot of people, the same thing would happen to him. But my proof of that is very simple. The only 2 playoff runs ever that Michael Jordan had more than 4 turnovers per game was 1995 with the 4.1 and 1986 he had 4.7. That was the year he broke his foot and was out all year. His timing, his feel for the game itself was off. You could get your shooting down, your movements and all that, but as far as the feel for the game about passes and that kind of thing, obviously Jordan's was off. As evidenced by, like I said, the only 2 playoff runs, 86 and 95, the 2 years that he missed the vast majority of the season in each one. Nick Wright is something else, always trying to put some narrative out there about, oh, let's blame Jordan for it. It was Jordan's fault. Where Scottie Pippen, this is a guy who finished 7th for MVP, runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year. And he did not play his best basketball at all. He just didn't. For the entire series, Scottie Pippen shot 40.9%, and Michael Jordan shot 47.7%. But Nick Wright is going to paint it as all Jordan's fault. Even though, like I said, this was Pippen's team. It was his time to shine. Jordan came in and basically just kind of took over. But in that series in 95, Jordan had 72 field goals. Pippen had 36. He had twice as many field goals as Pippen did. So I think that might be pretty important. You know, I don't know. I thought that was pretty important. Yeah, Jordan had a couple of bad plays. Game 6, I would not necessarily just put on Jordan. Longley missed an open layup. I mean, a dunk. He had it right there. That could have put the Bulls up 1. Now, I don't know what would have happened in Game 1 had Jordan not got the ball stole from him. Somehow they hung on and won. I doubt they were going to turn around and win Game 2 because Orlando would have felt desperate. I'm sure it would have changed the series. They would have won. But the fact is, Orlando was just better than the Bulls at that time. Inside, they really had no answer for Shaq or Horace Grant, who just ripped them up the whole series. Pippen was playing more on the interior because they just didn't have anything else. Kukoc tried, but he was just getting burned constantly. So they were putting Pippen on Grant. He was definitely playing the interior more. It just didn't work. The loss of Horace Grant was felt. They did not really have a power forward. It was just Kukoc, Pippen, and Longley. That's your front line. That's just not going to cut it. I just think it's ridiculous the lengths that Nick Wright goes to omit facts, not lay out the whole picture for you. Now look, Jordan definitely was not as good as even the next year in 96. No question, not even close. I never let it be an excuse though. I've heard people say like, oh, he didn't have his basketball legs, or, you know, baseball shape was a whole different kind of conditioning. I never said that. They got beat, plain and simple. Jordan made errors. He did. I think that the layoff is what caused them, sure. But at some point, you just got to give Orlando some credit. They were up for it, and they won the series. They just had a better team. Penny Hardaway, Shaq, Horace Grant, Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott, these guys were just a better starting five than what the Bulls had. That's just the bottom line. I don't think the Bulls would have even been close to being in that position. They're 34-31 without Jordan, but with Jordan, they're 13-4. See what I'm saying? I think that by Mike being there, definitely dramatically increased their chances of doing anything in the playoffs. Without Jordan joining the Bulls, they were on pace to probably win something like 42 to 44 games tops. So what that would have meant is they would have been playing most likely either Indiana, the Knicks, or the Magic. That was the top 3 seeds. They were going to get ousted in the first round. They're not beating those teams. Even if somehow they ended up getting the 5 seed, they were not going to beat Charlotte without Michael Jordan. It wasn't going to happen. So they wouldn't even have been in that position. To blame Jordan and put it on him, it's just a Nick Wright special. You could do like Nick Wright always does, and all the other LeBron fans say, oh, well, look at Jordan's numbers. It isn't just about the numbers, but they really had nobody else to score. I mean, Jordan literally scored double of what Pippen did. Field goals, the whole thing. It's crazy. To blame it all on Jordan is insane to me. But even if we're talking about the last play of Game 6, I don't think that was all on Jordan. Yes, he did make a critical turnover. But what about Luke Longley? He just gets off the hook on this? I mean, that's what I'm saying. And I know the star players get the blame and they get the credit. But I don't think that even if somehow the Bulls win Game 6 at home, all it would have did is made a Game 7 in Orlando. And I don't think the Bulls would have went into Orlando and won that game. There's no way to prove either way. But the way Nick Wright is explaining it is he blew it for him. Had the lead, blew it, and then Orlando won the next game. No. Orlando was up 3-2. If they didn't win Game 6 in Chicago, they just pack it up and go home in Game 7 and wrap it up. Again, that's not really a good series for Nick Wright to try to pick apart. It just isn't. And for Scottie Pippen, like he somehow shined in that series, 41.7%. Please, give me a break. The only thing Jordan did wrong was turnovers. That's all I got for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you wouldn't mind sharing it, that would be great. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I give daily content. That's it. Until next time.